A few months back, I did a review of Alex Garland's Civil War, the movie that allowed some people to fetishize the assassination of a president they don't like, all while embracing the idea of a military takeover. A military junta representing what exactly?
Don't know.
People really should read more history. Any history. It's chock-a-block full of horrible movements using violence and claiming to have your best interests at heart. Here's the TLDR. They don't. Are critical thinking skills completely gone?
People are good guys and have my best interest at heart because they kill someone I don't like.
I don't want to rehash that trash all over again, but at risk of alienating my subscriber base, people telling you that violence is the solution historically aren't looking out for you. Writing that review prompted me to rewatch another film about journalists covering a civil war, the far superior 1985 film The Killing Fields by Roland Joffe. The difference is night and day. The Killing Fields plays out like a gripping, well-written novel, while Civil War reads like a coloring book. I can see why you wanted to retire, Alex. This was like the cinematic equivalent of telling a bad joke in poor taste at a family member's funeral.
Sorry.
Jack, we better go.
In The Killing Fields, the relationships feel grounded. You're peeking into the world they live in. There aren't simplistic shoehorned relationships or hand-holding exposition. In Civil War, it's like a bad play. Hi audience, here's some exposition to tell you all who we are and what our relationship is to each other. Now give us your hand as we walk you through this cartoon of a narrative, and I use the term narrative loosely. Now times change and with them people's tastes. It used to be that westerns were all the rage in film and TV. Romantic comedies seemed like they'd never go out of fashion. As a huge George Romero fan, I was ecstatic that zombies had their flesh-eating day in the sun. Fashions come and fashions go, but generally quality, although uneven at best, did remain constant. Sure, there's always a ton of crap, but there were always decent quality films and shows, and every now and then, one for the ages. But it seems to me that overall quality has dropped precipitously over the years. There are many factors. 1. The aforementioned dumbing down of Americans that has been happening for decades, resulting in a lack of critical thinking skills that leads one to accept a military takeover as a good thing. 2. The rise of the international box office and therefore films that are more simplistic, action-oriented, as opposed to complicated, nuanced storytelling that may not reach across cultural differences. Also explaining why comedies are in decline, as humor tends to be more culturally specific and doesn't transcend well. 3. The fact that the studios would rather swing for the fences on a billion-dollar bonanza than a slate of sensibly budgeted films for moderate successes. But ain't that America? You'd be ridiculed for trying anything less. Recycling plastic was proven to be a scam, centered more on making you feel like you're doing the right thing rather than actually providing a service. And most of it still ended up in nature, only instead of buried in a landfill, contained to a certain degree. It's now polluting the environment in oceans and rivers. Fish are eating it, and we're eating the fish, and cancer rates go up. You do the math. But we're not properly recycling it for a reason. Money. We don't make money at it. It's not cost effective. So why bother? That's the problem with making everything about money. Nothing has integrity. Nothing has real intrinsic value. Everything is cheapened to the lowest common denominator, or lowest common denomination, which leads me to the last reason the quality has declined. Us. We, the audience. We accept it. We vote with our dollars, and we've been voting for mostly big-budget spectacle. And although that may deliver us from woke, about damn time, it's not a savior. It's not a miracle pill. It's not going to save us from ourselves.
The one man in this sore and sick community who wants to save you from yourself.
And I want more big-budget Mad Max, more big-budget Spider-Man. And do I dare mention Star Wars? No, never mind. I'm asking for too much. But I also want good medium and low-budget films, especially since that's where the ideas or storytellers, visionaries come from. It's film's version of the minor leagues. Now, I don't watch romantic comedies, but it frightens me that we don't make them anymore. I grew up in Boston in the 1980s.
What'd you just say?
And I'm the last person evolved enough to talk about my so-called feelings. But even I know that some part of the human experience is expressing love and tenderness and intimacy. What does it say about a society unable to express, or with no appetite for, that basic natural impulse? And I love me my female action stars, but I don't want them all to be these unemotional, sociopathic planks, completely out of touch with their feminine side, and bizarrely embracing the traits that, traditionally, the male villain had. And they're often portrayed with a completely unrealistic ability to learn, grow, fail, adapt, and overcome. You know, like a character in a story, a character with a flaw, going on a journey, failing, then learning something, and earning their achievement in the end. What's the solution? How do you fix society?
We take over one borough at a time.
When people think they can do that, that's usually when things go off the rails. I don't have answers. I'm just a little man with a big gripe. But maybe by griping about it and thinking about it, we can be the change we want to see in the world. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. What will happen is Hollywood will keep doing what it always does, adapt to the marketplace. But thanks to the rise of the internet and YouTube, we have an opportunity to make things we want to see and find some creators making some cool stuff. That's what I think will happen, till that damn meteor hits. Thanks for clicking in.
Donald, I did not subscribe to this channel.